Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update and market outlook for what's today? Tuesday, February the 25th. And wow, what a day. We had another pretty brutal day, depending on how you were positioned, with the Dow down. At one point, I think we were down 1,000 points. We were down 1,000 points yesterday. We're kind of in free fall mode here. This is the S&P. We'll look at this, and we have really come off very, very far, very fast, and we know it's because of the coronavirus. And I'm kicking myself because I was telling everybody 2 or 3 weeks ago that if this thing gets worse, this could turn into something real serious, and because of the domino effect of on the economic side, right? And of course, we were, it was completely waiting on it's not that bad, or it's getting worse. And of course, we may not have gotten accurate news in the beginning and that type thing. Nobody knows, but as it turns out, it's getting worse and worse and worse. So, now we're faced with really serious quarantines and a lot of damage kind of across the world. So let's put everything in perspective here and take a look at the S&P. And one thing I wanted to show you, I've got the ticks up here. Let me expand this out a little bit. And so this is for the day today. And this is the NYSE tick. And I got it on 2-minute chart, but basically there's 0 on the ticks, which is completely neutral, and there's plus 500 and minus 500, plus 1,000, minus 1,000. Now you see a mark, I've got a mark here at 700, which is to send an alert. When you usually get about 700 plus or minus, you're getting some movement one way or the other. One thing to notice here, look at this negative 1,000. So all day long, we're just pushing negative 1,000 all day. We got to negative 14. I don't remember if I've ever even seen a 1457, negative 1457 tick, but all day long, a lot of heavy, heavy, heavy selling. This is just sell, 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 sell. I mean, all day long. We got a little bit of a bounce here on a plus 1,000 tick up here just once, twice, excuse me, and that was it. And what that does is just beats the market down, 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 down. And as you can see, those two plus 1,000s, I think one was there and one was there, I suppose, on this bounce. But basically you have, this is the waterfall effect. This is the cascading waterfall effect that you really should watch out for. This is, I wish I could, coin that term as a technical term, but that's what happens. And I've always just thought of it as a waterfall effect, because once it starts going, you can draw trend lines and upper and lower and that type thing. But once it starts going and momentum is behind it, it tends to just kind of keep cascading down. But let's take this out on a 1-year chart. And again, this is the S&P, and I've got voodoo lines up here. So check this out. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. In fact, let me do this real quick on the LTs. Give me just a second here. I want to take those off. Okay, so if you remember from our trade of the week a couple of weeks ago, down into this move here, we've got a snow line right there. That white line is a snow line, and I thought that we would kind of chop around here and we would be some kind of range bound here. And in fact, we just kept on ripping up. This is when the coronavirus got bad and the Chinese government came in and started just pumping money into the system, right, to offset the effect of the damage that's being done to the economy. And we run all the way up here. You see that green line? That's a 3408 SPX, not ES. And we get to almost 3,400 within 7 points, and then we fail almost vertically from that. And if you remember from when I did the trade of the week on this, I said that my primary area was here and my secondary area was here. And I said this, we don't know if we're going to go up or down from here, but I really thought we'd kind of chop around in between these snow lines here for a little while. Again, as it turns out, we have dropped 200 and what is that? 270 points. I mean, just vertically, and also voila, we landed right on our tree line right there. And you see the little candle that just touches it. Let me zoom in here and you can see it right there. Just touches it. So the takeaway from this is this obviously is very ugly, very fast. This is what happened. This is normal ebb and flow for the market. What I suspect will happen, I suspect maybe we've washed out a lot of the sellers. Maybe we bounce back up here. Maybe we stop here. Maybe we go here. But depending on how the news unfolds, I think we come back down and maybe even take this out. So what I'm saying, my plan as of now, we have to make a plan and we have to adjust on the fly as news comes in all the time, right? You have to do that. So my plan right now is I'm going to buy the dip and then I'm going to sell it once we get to one of these levels, again within reason. What I'll do also, we'll get on smaller time frames and look at some micro levels and things like that. But again, if this continues to fall, say tomorrow, I'm just going to sit on my hands. I'm so happy in my bias room and my trade service bias. We went to cash right there. We were 100% cash, well, except for I had one. I've got a 3185 SPX hedge butterfly on right now and all cash, and we did that on Friday. So we've missed all this, but so if it keeps going, I'll sit on my hands. Maybe I'll try to short a little bit, but I suspect that we bounce here temporarily and then probably come back down. So maybe try to get this on the way up, maybe try to get it back on the way down. I have to give a general plan, and we don't know what's going to happen even hour by hour in a market like this. We've got a lot of head fakes and things like that. So that's the general outline of what I'm looking to do. The same thing can be said. I mean, look at the NASDAQ. We did come down. That's a fire line, which is a pretty strong level of support. We did not hold that. We could have more downside here. The reason in the NASDAQ, we've been led by the tech, the tech giants, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Google, so forth. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. RUT, kind of same thing. I mean, pretty dramatic, right? And we're just kind of hanging out here. There's a skyline right there that we're kind of sitting on. I think we could have a little more downside. So again, we have to be very careful jumping in to buy this dip for other than for a quick trade. And I'm talking about maybe even for a day trade or even for a couple of hours or something like that. You got to be in and out very quickly. I'm not trying, and I'm not talking about the RUT. I'm talking about any of these, right? So if you do decide to come in here, I'm not thinking buy it here and we're going back up here. That's not what I'm thinking. Short term, and then I'll probably get out. If it keeps going, that's fine. I'll try to catch what I can, on the way up. But the plan is to buy this and then try to catch it on the way back down, if possible. Again, the plans change constantly with news and so forth. So that is what I've got for you tonight. Wish it could be a little more specific, but it literally cannot be. There's just too many things up in the air right now, and we're kind of in wait and see mode. So I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, cash is king, and be very tight stops and monitor everything, and use your targets and that type thing, and hope everyone's doing that. But again, at the same time, take advantage of some of this volatility, because in a market like this, you can make some money pretty quickly. We've got really elevated volatility here. And by the way, I just almost forgot, I am doing a class on, it's going to be in 2 weeks, and we've had this on the books for about 3 weeks, to do a black swan volatility class, and it's going to be trading volatility. And so we're right in the middle of it. I would have rather done the class over here, but this actually works out pretty well, because what I think we might get into with this kind of stuff is more of that, which is a great place to make some money. So I'll have details soon on the class. I don't have them yet, but I'll let you guys know when it comes out. I believe it's going to be on March the 14th. It's a Saturday class, and we'll do live trading the next week and all that stuff. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. But that is what I've got. Hope that helps, makes sense. Be very careful. Be very nimble. Don't avoid the market, because there's some great opportunity with this super elevated volatility and these super fast moves we're having. But be sure you have tight stops. Use small size. Be very careful, and be pretty confident of your entries and targets, price targets. So with that, let me wind it up. Hope this helps, and I will see you guys at the next update. Thanks a lot.